Welcome to the third day final day of our Hyderabad Literary Festival. This is the first stage talk titled Gobar Dhan, Artistic Visual Expressions in Cow Dung. हम जैसे शहरी लोगों को गोबर का जो उपयोग है बहुत कम मालूम है। हम सोचते हैं वो जलाने के काम आता है, हवन में, खाना बनाने में, या फिर फर्श और दीवारों की लिपापोती के लिए, या फिर मैन्योर बायोगैस के लिए। बस यहीं तक सीमित है। हमारे महान भारत में ऐसे कई गांव हैं जिन्होंने गोबर को एक उच्च स्थान दिया है और उस उच्च स्थान से वो एक रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं और इस गोबर को बड़ी ही खूबसूरती से इस्तेमाल उपयोग में लाते हैं, whether it is for ritualistic purposes or for celebrating festivals. They make the most unique formations all out of cow dung. Today we have amidst us Srimati Rekha Bhatnagar ji, who will be talking to us, taking us on an interesting journey of how creatively cow dung can be used in art, highlighting its role in the daily life of these villagers. Rekha ji has done her PhD in drawing and painting in folk paintings from Udaipur and served as former head of the Department of Art at Kanoria College, Udaipur. With over 50 years of experience in art, education, and cultural research, she has now come out with a wonderful book titled Gobar Dhan, copies of which are available in the book point. And she gifted me one. And I must say, it is a beautiful gift. And I recommend all of you go and pick up a copy of the same. Please welcome Rekha Bhatnagar. Her son Mayank will be assisting her with the presentation, and he too has contributed much by way of editing and photographs. आप ये लीजिए. You handle the.
Thank you very much for introducing me. I have been an art teacher for a long time. And, being art teacher, you have so many responsibilities and you have to enjoy art. So, art इस तरह का है कि लड्डू बनाओ भी और खाओ भी. It's so interesting. I have never had any boring time in teaching art. So I'm thankful to God that I took art as my career. So this book I have lately done, and it's called Gobar Dhan. Gobar everyone knows. And I found that there are so many things in Rajasthan, especially in Rajasthan and UP, which we make on different occasions. And I wrote Dhan because gobar has been used like a treasure by the villagers. So how is it a treasure for them? That is my study. Now, the trouble is that in villages, they make these designs when there are occasions. Otherwise, they don't make it. So, in between, Corona happened, and the event passed away, and I couldn't go to the village. So, next year, we had to wait another year to go to that place. So, I waited another year to go to the village and write on the festival and photograph it. So, it's difficult to cover these things. So, with this, I'll take you on a ride to the villages of mainly Rajasthan and some parts of UP, where, Lord Krishna is related to Vrindavan. So some parts of UP are very rich. Now, I did my undergraduate from Jaipur and then shifted to Udaipur for my PG. Now, in PG, we have a paper called outdoor sketching. So, for outdoor sketching, we had to go to Sabzi Mandi, Dhan Mandi, railway station, this and that. And later, we decided to go and sketch temples. Temples are so pretty. So, Udaipur is so rich. Everywhere you'll find temples. And the temples were inside the villages. So, first time I saw the villages were so rich in art because they had terracotta, they had fur painting, they had wood carving. I mean, they had paintings, they had wall paintings, they had floor paintings. So it was so rich. So I imbibed that into me. And when it came to PhD, I did my PhD in folk paintings of Udaipur region because that's so rich. So whatever the designs were on the walls or floor, I started copying it. So I wrote first book, which is called Dhuli Chitra. Dhuli Chitra is all the designs traditional design, which we make on floor. And these are traditional designs made on certain occasions. So I have a huge collection. And later my interest went to other states. You won't believe all the states of India have traditional designs. And these are so pretty and so, they have meanings. So in this book, I have worked on the meanings, on the history, and the symbolism. Because these are not pictographs, these are symbols which have been collected. So I have worked on the symbols also. This book is not available here, but will it be available later on? I'll tell you later. So, yeah, and it has 1,000 designs, 1,000 designs. So this is the book. Next. And this is, so I have taken these designs from Rajasthan, of course, Gujarat, not sorry, Bengal, Maharashtra, and also South Indian designs, Kolam, Muglu in Aniyal, and Rangarekhavalli. So all the designs are there. See, you can see the southern Indian designs, and these are the sachas which they use today, and people are forgetting it. And this is with flowers. And this one is from Shanti Niketan, Bengal, where they use dal. Because our festivals are related to harvests. So in harvest we have dal. Instead of colors, they have used dal. In Shanti Niketan, it's very common. So what is folk art? What happened that 60, 70 years ago, no one looked at the folk art. Folk is the people who live in villages, and they do art for themselves. It's not like my art, when I make a painting and just exhibit. That is art for art's sake. But here the art is related to their life, deeply related. So women make art for their own pleasure and for achieving the peace in the house. Next. So I don't want to go to the other side. Now, folk art, Rabindranath Tagore has contributed a lot on that. Rabindranath Tagore, while going in a boat, he used to get down to the villages. And there they used to collect taxes. So Rabindranath saw that there are so many types of arts there, which villagers are practicing. So he came back to Shanti Niketan and he told all the people that do the research. So that was the first time folk art came into limelight. And then most of the artists there, they started collecting art. And you have heard the name of Yamini Roy. Yamini Roy was the first one to incorporate folk art into his art. And also, Bengali Alpna, he took simplification from there, and also Kali Ghat paintings from Calcutta. So, folk art has now great significance. I can see in Hyderabad also, under the bridges, they have made folk paintings everywhere, which is decorative. And also, modern art has given so much significance to the folk art. Why? Because modern art, I can't tell you the whole history. So, how the art changed from period to period, and it became so simplified. And for expression, we can do anything. There is a lot of freedom. We don't see the perfection in art, we see the freedom with which it is creatively done. So there are many things like simplicity is there, then distortion for the sake of expression. So we distort, like any face, we distort. It's not realistic at all, which is very close to folk arts. That's why folk arts became very popular, very, very popular. And in Jaipur, I don't know here, but we have fairs where all the people from villages come, and you can see the arts of various corners. So I come back to my main topic, which is Gobar. So while going to the villages, I used to see these structures, and I came to know that these structures are made only with cow dung. Nothing is mixed in it. When I paint, I have so much material. My room is full of materials. But here, they have succeeded in expression by just using only gobar. So that's the beauty of it. And I mentioned you the modern art, so you'll see how modern these are. These are abstract, mostly abstract. So there are 4 categories I have taken. One is Bitawda. This is called Bitawda. Next, sorry, I'll just stop here. So Bitawda, Badkula, and Sanji and Govardhan. 4 things I have taken which are made only with gobar. Now, from where the gobar comes? It comes from the cow. So cow in Hindu religion is of great importance. You know, we call गाय माता है हमारी, क्योंकि गाय दूध देती है. एक गाय से पूरा घर चलता है, पूरा घर. गाय देती है, दूध बनता है, दही बनता है, मक्खन निकलता है. फिर ये पंचामृत हैं, 5 जो हम चीज़ें हवन में यूज़ करते हैं. तो it's complete. The cow is complete. That's why cow is worshipped in villages. There are some festivals when we worship the cow because it gives us what we want. Look at the ladies. Now, you know the Samudra Manthan. तो समुद्र मंथन में 14 चीज़ें निकली थी. उनमें से एक गाय निकली थी जिसका नाम है कामधेनु. Previous one. So this is Kamdhenu. This is from British Library, and this is a mythological cow. So you have to interpret Indian mythology, philosophy. It's very philosophical and very symbolic. So here you can see the cow is painted as a lady, because a lady gives milk and she's motherly. That's the quality, and she's so beautifully decked up. Look at the beauty she has, and ornamented, and then she has wings. So if you have wings, you become double powerful. Like in Iranian art, when influence came to India, in Sanchi you can see deer with wings. And in other arts, you can see tigers with wings. So if a tiger is so forceful, and if it has wings, it becomes more powerful. So it shows the power of it. And then to beautify, they have feathers of a peacock. So this is a very, very famous picture of Kamdenu. Next. So now, it is also believed that cow has 33 gods. 33 कोटि कहते हैं, करोड़ नहीं है वो, 33 तरह के हैं. कोटि means 33 तरह के, 33 types of gods. So they all reside in this. So it is believed that if you worship cow, then you have worshipped all the gods. You don't have to go here and there. So this is the concept of this. Next. So in Maharashtra, they worship these like Vishnu ke charan ko use karte hain hum, feet of Lord Vishnu. In the same manner, these are cow's hoofs, which is called Gau Padam. So Gau Padam are made in temples and are also worshipped. I'm telling you the importance which cow has. Next. So these are the forms I'll be telling you. This is Govardhan. हाँ पूजा मैं बताती हूँ अभी. So firstly, when the cow gives dung, it needs to be immediately used because it dries up very fast. So this kind of, this has many names, upla, kanda, बहुत सारे नाम हैं, और उसको उसी दिन लेकर उसको preserve करना पड़ता है. Otherwise it's useless. So they preserve it like this. In many, many states, I saw some making long ones or square ones. So this is very common. And these are sun-dried. These are sun-dried. Next. And then this is stacked, one upon another. This is stacked, and they make it a heart shape, which is loose. It's not packed. These are loose. You can see the underneath, there are stones, and then this wood, and then kandas. Kandas are stacked one upon another, and then it is covered with gobar to give it a beautiful shape. Look at the aesthetics of them. So it's covered beautifully, and if you put gobar, then it falls down because it's loose. So they so cleverly made designs on it. And designs are mostly linear. You know, early art is all linear. If you go to cave art or floor designs, these are all linear designs, are the basic designs with which make. But in the linear patterns, you can see the floral designs. Now this is from Savai Madhopur. Look at the beautiful design they have made. She is an illiterate woman, doesn't know anything about designing. She has not done any art course, but she knows the beauty. So this is, on top of it, she has used hay. And this is foil, some kind of foil. Anywhere, this preserve it. And then look at this, how beautifully she has cut the patterns. So they have their own aesthetics. Now these are the huts which I have collected photographs from Alwar near Jaipur, and then Bharatpur, Mathura, UP, Vrindavan. So everywhere you go on the main road, main highway, you can see these. And what they do, there is a hole here. In this, here they make a hole, and from hole they keep taking out kandas whenever they need it. And they use it round the year for fuel, basically for fuel. Next. Previous. See, this is also the same design, the floral design, which they have made in Savai Madhopur. Next. So what I have done in my book, because you can't see the design properly, I have drawn. There are many, many pages. on which I have drawn these, that what the designs are like. Mostly symmetrical designs, but you can see the pattern of bird, a tree, flowers, and even swastika you can see here. So there is huge variety of design. Next. And next is Barkula. Now, we have a festival called Holi. On Holi, we burn the effigy of Holika. I think here also you play Holi? Acha. So in Rajasthan, it's a big festival. It's a big festival, and they make garland of cow dung. And it is sun-dried, and it is offered to Holika. Now, look at this effigy. No wood is used. No wood is used, only hay. You can see the hay is used, and these barkulas are used to make the fire. Next. Now, when I went to villages, I thought these are only round, flat balls. But no, they have made so many shapes. I was amazed. I had never realized that there are so many shapes. So later, this I made at my own house. It was stinking like anything. It's so difficult to handle cow dung, and it's slimy. Because if you don't mix any hay, it's really slimy. So I used masks, and then I used gloves just to experience that how do they make it. But they don't have any grudge, they just make it playfully. So here they are burning the effigy. Next. These are some of the patterns, like this is pan, beetle, and that is nariyal, and beetle nut, and these are carpets for goddess to sit, and these are her sandals. Now what happened that we have the story, this is also chapati, then roller, chakla, belan, that is chakki, and silbatta, and sun, moon, these are chapatis, and key. So what happens that I asked the woman, why do you make this? She said, whatever we want in our life, we make it and offer it to goddess, so she is going to give us. So that's their aim. Next. So the story, everyone knows that how Hiranyakashipu was a demon, and he had a son, Prahlad. And Prahlad was taught by none other than Narad. So Narad gave him good qualities, and he became very saintly. So since Hiranyakashipu was a demon, he wanted to kill him, his own son. So what he did a lot of things. The story is very long. But then he said his sister used to bathe in fire, and she was given a scarf. So what happened? She sat with Prahlad so that he can be burnt. But later she realized that Prahlad is so saintly and she is a child, I should not kill him. So she gave her scarf to Prahlad, and then she died. So that's why she is worshipped as a goddess. I myself didn't know that why she was worshipped as goddess. So here, then God took this incarnation and killed Hiranyakashipu. This is from, this painting is from Basoli, Pahadi painting, and Narsingh Avatar. I think in South also you have this Narsingh Avatar. So it's a beautiful painting we have taken from paintings. Next. And then third is the Sanji. Sanji is very unique. I have not seen anywhere in other states. Maybe it exists. In Punjab, they make Sanji, but they make it with clay. So I didn't go to Punjab because I was considering only cow dung. So here, Shraddh Paksh is for 15 days, and 15 days the girls do these designs. Why young girls do designs? Because they want a good husband. Now, the story is there, how to get a good husband. So they make these designs, and in order to get a good husband. Now, there is a story of Arundhati. I think in South India, they have this story prevailing where a husband and wife, when they get married, they are shown this star. So this is Vashisht, and Arundhati is the only female star which goes around this Vashisht. The story is very long. It is given in the book. So there is a thing that every time to get a good husband, the woman has to toil. Like Parvati, in order to get Shiva, she burnt herself and took another. So here also, Arundhati was born as Sandhyavati. On the Sandhyavati, it's called Sanji. So she had to jump into the fire to get Vashisht in the next birth. So the women, there are stories where it's written that women have to really work hard to get a good husband. If they don't get a good husband, they have no life. It's not like us who are, educated and who are earning their own money. But in villages, they are still dependent upon the husbands. So this is Sanji in Udaipur. You can see an octagonal star. So I call it cosmos, because octagonal is the cosmos, and you can see sun, moon, and this is a chakra. And on top of it, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna. Now, Rajasthan is actually a Krishna worshipping belt. Is the time? So, what happened? The story is based on Lord Shiva. It is from Shiv Puran that Parvati goes to the mother's house and she spends 15 days there because the Shiva said, "This is Shraddha time, I cannot come." So she made these designs along with the young girls to get a good husband. Next. So in the medieval period, there was a saint called Vallabhacharya. He traveled in Rajasthan, and it is a Vaishnavite belt. There are Shiva temples, but Vaishnavite belt is there. So Rajasthan, Udaipur, Nathadwara, these are all Krishna temples. So in Rajasthan, there are mostly Krishna temples. Why Krishna is popular? Because he has two forms. One is a protector. He protects. And he's also an entertainer. He plays with you. He's like a child. He steals. So he became very, very popular with the people in Rajasthan. So here, instead of Shiva, you'll see Lord Krishna, because it's his Krishna belt. Here in the center, this is not more than 4 by 4 feet. And as I told you, the slimy nature of dung, it's very difficult to make this. And then every art needs finishing. So how beautifully it has been finished with flowers. And look at the choice of flowers. The colors which will come out of it, out of the background. And look at the pieces of Lehriya. This is very common in Rajasthan. So Lehriya piece is given to Radha, and she's wearing all possible ornaments. And here, Lord Krishna, you can see, has a feather, and how beautifully Krishna is decked up, and with the murli. You can see. Next. So what happens that every morning they make it, and in the evening they all worship, even the men worship, and next day morning it's taken out. Taken out, and the gobar is collected at a place. Next. So last day, there are many, many more in the book, but this is the last day. It's called Kilakot. Kilakot, in which they have many, many forms. Now, in the center, you can see Radha again, and then she has 7 friends. trident of Shiva is there, then elephant is there, and others are not related to the religion. You can see a layman. Layman is there, and then they have caught a thief. So he's upside down. He's being punished like that. So whatever they have, like you can see a boat because there are lakes. So anything which comes to their mind is made in this. So it's called Kilakot. Now, you can see a thick wall is made with gobar. So it's called bas relief in art. Bas relief means just a linear and slightly in relief. It doesn't have 3D relief because the gobar you cannot make anything. It has to be just a thick, little thick. Next. So some pages I have devoted to all these drawings which are even made by different people at different places. But there is no hard and fast rule today. I have given a serial in the book, but it's not compulsory that they make it that very day. Next. So last one is Govardhan, from where I have taken the name. So actually this is Govardhan. You know the story of Lord Krishna, that he took the Govardhan Parvat on his, to save the people from floods. So here he's saving all the people from flood. This is also from Basoli painting, and how he's saving people. And he stood for 7 days, and he was given 8 types of grains every day. So that comes to 56 types of grains. So next day, they have Govardhan Puja, where we make unkut sweets with 56 grains. This is from ISKCON temple. So one is Krishna holding it, and here, this one, I made it at home. I took the whole day to make it. It's so difficult. And he's holding the Parvat. And in the center, there is a bowl where we put yogurt or milk, and which is a prasadam. Next. And for Annakut, they make a full face. And underneath, there are 56 types of Anna, which is offered to Lord Krishna. Chappan Bhog. So 7 into 8. Next. So this is the Govardhan they make on the floor, because you can't make it erect. It needs to be on the floor. And when I went to the villages, I saw every household was making their own. So I said, why do you make your own? They said it was a community work, but people have shifted from one place to another. So whatever gobar they have for a day, they make it. And now this is also Kilakot, like it has been framed. It's kind of a frame. And in the center is Krishna, so abstract. That's why, modern artists love it. And look at the teeth. And ye batasha hai aankh mein. So whatever left over from Diwali is used. And these are cows. Longish. Cows are all around him. And look at this beautiful. The cows are drinking water. So beautiful. Look at their imagination. And these are the cows. Next. And these are the women who are milking the cow. The cloth shows that they're milking the cow, and these are the cows all around. So this I found in a net. It's in Madhya Pradesh. So here you can see a big one, because this is made by the whole community. They collect. They told me that everyone gets 2 buckets of gobar, and they make it the whole day. They make it, and Here again you can see the women are making it. Men are sitting idle. They are doing nothing. Nothing. It's only women's duty to look after the house, to take care of the house. So women are doing it. The men don't even get the gobar. They don't even bother. They're just sitting idle. And they're just doing, so young girls are there. And look at the beautiful shape they have given with lot of gobar in it. Next. So near Bharatpur I went, there was a 20 feet big Govardhan. Because there are many people around and they said we bought 2 buckets of each woman. And we made this and decorated it with, hay. And this is the milk churner. Milk churner. So look at that importance they have given it to it. So on this Govardhan, they stick this Biloni. And on top of Biloni, there is a lamp. So everyone offers, these are kheel batasha from Diwali, kheel, the puffed rice from Diwali, and with that they make it. So again here, first men take 7 rounds. After them, the women take 7 rounds. And here you can see some baskets. These are the baskets. So these are the ornaments of cows, which I have kept here. So tomorrow, next day, they will change the ornaments. So much importance given to the cow. And this is the final result. It looks so pretty. And it takes almost 1.5 hours for the worshipping. So this thing is that the women, if women are not there, nothing will happen in India. So women are everywhere. Look at them. Early morning, they do this. Next. And even if there's a single old woman, she's making it herself. There's no helper. Next. So these are the women. They readily posed for me. Next. Here, men are worshipping first. There are no women here. And here also, the men are worshipping first. So this is a patriarchy, and actually the women take the cake for this. If women were not there, nothing will be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Rekha ji. Very interesting, very colorful. And before I hand over the mic to the audience, I just wanted to know those high structures that you said they make where they stack the cow dung. Is that, and the design they make is to identify ये हमारा है, आप इसमें से ना
No,
लें.
they make it in front of their house.
अच्छा, घर के सामने बनाते
boundary
हैं.
is not there in
हाँ
the
जी.
villages.
ठीक है.
So wherever they live, near the house, they make it so that they can take it out. And during rainy season, they cover it with plastic.
अच्छा.
Yeah. There was a time when they used to cover
Mic.
they used to cover it with the
Hay.
leaves.
अच्छा.
But now plastic is available.
ठीक है. We open up for question and answers. Yes, Ram, please tell me.
Hello?
हाँ, on है. Please talk in.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks, ma'am. I am a chartered accountant, and I became a chartered accountant because I handle a lot of cow dung.
Okay.
Seriously. Because when I was growing up in my village and everywhere, नानी के कभी भी जाता था, they needed cow dung. तो मेरे को बोलते थे जितना तू cow dung लेके आएगा उतना तू, you'll prosper well, study well, etc. तो मैंने बहुत cow dung उठाया है, साफ करते थे, and keep it ready for being put it on the floors and the walls. So I want to take a comment on your thing कि men have not handled cow dung. There are a good number of people. In fact, अभी भी मेरे को कोई कुछ बोलता है, I tell them, boss, don't fiddle with me. I handle a lot of cow shit,
नहीं, पर आप राजस्थान के नहीं हैं.
नहीं, but wherever.
आप
आंध्रा के
वहाँ
हैं,
होते
तेनाली
तो
के.
शायद वही वैसे ही बैठे रहते.
Yeah, so हो सकता है. Anyway, it was a good session. I enjoyed it very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to ask? अच्छा, Suhas ji. We'll give it to you after.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning. In most of your presentation, the content was related to the northern part of country.
Northern, because
Yes.
it's so difficult to go from village to village.
I completely understand. I
Yeah.
completely respect and admire
Yeah.
that. But how would you see the adoption and usage of the art with cow dung and usage of it in the southern part of country? If you have any views or idea as part of your research.
I have
or
seen
information
some on the
gathering.
net, but see, I have not studied, so I didn't want to write about it because I don't know South much, so that's why I didn't write anything about it.
All right, thank you. And especially that Holika Dahan where they make a garland of small cakes of cow dung and
barkulas.
put it on the fire.
Yeah.
We do that. We do that on a festival of Sankranti. We have a event called as Bogi. On that, we do the same here in Andhra Pradesh and the states of Telangana.
You see, there's using cow dung, you are spending not a penny. It's so eco-friendly.
जी हाँ,
You are
बिल्कुल.
not spending anything. It's taken from your surroundings, used, and it goes back to the surrounding. That's the beauty of it, which we are not using in the cities.
जी, सुहास जी.
Thank you for this wonderful session, Rekha ji.
Thank you.
What is the difference between Dhuli Chitra and Rangoli?
These are different names.
And
Different
Dhuli-
names of, I tell you, these are floor designs.
सुहास जी बैठ जाइए, recording.
These
हो
are traditional floor designs. In Rajasthan, it's called mandana. In Bengal, it's called alpana.
रही. जी.
And Maharashtra, it's called rangoli. And in South, of course,
Muggu.
Kolam, Muglu, Aniyal,
Muggu.
Rangrekhavalli. These are the names. These are just the names, but the designs are different. And Dhuli Chitra, I didn't want to see, for the topic of the book, I want a name which is common to everyone. So धूल में बनते हैं ना, धूल से बनते हैं. Even the colors are धूल, मिट्टी है बिल्कुल. So this I picked up from Madhya Pradesh. There they designs called Dhuli Chitra. So I took that from there. But it's just the same. Only local names. Goduli Bela, yes.
जी कहिए.
A nice talk, madam. I see that you require lots of dung now.
Yeah.
And now in this world, present world, see the number of cows are going down. So how
Yeah.
to maintain the art? Because I feel this is a art which is slowly going to die. Next few, maybe some more years, decades only. So seeing
Yeah,
the current
these are
scene here,
actually, that's why,
more cows are required. So what do you do about that?
that's why I have written these two books, because these arts are dying. Our culture is dying. Now, I met people who were making it. We had visited. And the girls with jeans, hands in the pocket and just watching. I said, why don't you do? No, I'm not going to put my hand in cow dung. And moreover, this is going to stop because of the migration. Suppose this girl gets married in the city. She won't make it. Or married to a Punjabi or
Or
somewhere else. So
elsewhere.
this is going to stop. But in Rajasthan, these women are still doing it. And some of the girls, like I showed you, Sanji, they are doing it.
But more cows are required also. No? You also require more
And
cows.
one of my friends, she is also from village. She said, oh, Rekha ji, I have kept a tray. So on Govardhan, I make this on a tray. Look at the size. She makes a tray, but her daughters don't make it.
So basically, where there is a religious connotation, then people are still following
Still
the
following it,
traditions.
still following it. I make rangolis in my house on Diwali. Once, yeah, but what to do? See, now people are not getting married, not having any children. What will happen now? You just imagine in a broad sense. Things are going to change, of course. Welcome.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? I have a question. What I noticed in your presentation is that it was like a community celebration,
Yes.
especially the last few slides that you spoke of,
Yeah.
the Govardhan Puja and all. This is done exactly when did you say? Around Krishna Janmashtami?
Govardhan is the next day of Diwali.
अच्छा उसका वो जो होता है. Okay. So in that thing, do they have some kind of a apart from praying to the cow, do they have some kind of a dance, some kind of a folk music?
Just now I didn't see any dance
Okay.
because this is also related to Ankut when
Okay.
their harvest is ripe.
Ji.
So some of the people told me, Madam, stay back, and after worshipping, I'll give you this Ankut prasad.
Ji.
So because the whole day they are busy, and then they make Ankut, and prasad is given to everyone. So that day I didn't see any dance.
Okay.
And also, all arts of villages is community, for the community. Nothing is individual. Nothing is individual.
I see.
Everyone get together and make it.
But what surprised me when you showed the picture of the Govardhan, if you could just show that huge mountain.
Yeah, that is
what
from
was it
ISKCON.
standing on? This one.
Yeah, this from ISKCON
This
temple.
one?
Yeah, they have made a structure. You know, ISKCON temple has so much money.
Okay.
So after my great request, they gave me this photo. They didn't
I
want to
see.
give photo.
Okay.
But I'm thankful to them, and they have made this all. And you can see some structures down below
Yes, yes.
on top of it.
So, sure. Sure.
Yes. They must be having some support
Some material
underneath.
they sure should
But
be having.
on top of it, just gobar. Just gobar. They don't mix anything like Punjab. They mix. The Punjab sanjis are so beautiful, I tell you, with mirrors. It's so beautiful. They put ropes in it to make it beautiful, but here it's difficult to make this.
You wanted to say something?
Good morning, ma'am.
Money.
I'm from Rajasthan, so it's so nice to see somebody else from Rajasthan. And, I also love making rangolis. So I have picked up the art of Mugu Kolam.
Uh-huh.
And we have a temple in our society, so we do regular kolam there. So my question is, what inspired you to write these kind of books? Sorry, I came a little late, so you
it's
might
all
have told
No,
earlier.
I was telling them that I was doing my PG and I started visiting villages. So there I saw that so many arts are there. Instead of studying miniatures all the time, which others were doing, I thought, let me focus on this. And that's how I made my PhD on the folk arts of Rajasthan. So
Very
there are
interesting.
too many things. I have just covered two things. But there are lot of pieces like thapa. Every occasion they put a thapa.
Has
And
Yes, yes.
on the paper, they make lot of things. I have a collection of that. Then there are folk gods which they make on the walls. So there are a lot of things which we can study. No one has done so far.
I mean, it's very nice because we are relocating to Jaipur now.
Yeah.
We belong to Jaipur, so it's nice. I wanted to do something like this. So nice that somebody's already
Why
doing
don't
it.
you
Keep
study?
it up. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so difficult at my age. I have two good sons.
You look very, very young, ma'am. So
They
don't
took
mention
me
your age.
around. My younger son took me around. He's a photographer in his car to different villages. And we stayed in the villages. And then my elder son is a graphic designer. So he came forward to design this, beautifully designed with 257 photographs, high-rise
resolution.
high-resolution photographs. And we spent 7 months doing this, just the designing. 3 years of writing. So we have worked very hard, but we enjoyed every bit. Didn't we? We enjoyed every bit. It was so enjoyable finding out the stories from mythology and finding out about women, talking to them. It's so beautiful.
Well, in a country like ours and the traditions that we have been following, everything seems so fascinating, especially for people who don't live there. They do it because of their reverence, but we find it so beautiful and unique. And I would like to make a mention of one of my team members, Sadhna Ramchandra, courtesy whom this talk, she spoke about this book. And then it went to the team. They want to know who you are, Sadhna. She and Mayank are friends, and the book landed on her lap, and from there it went on
Yeah,
to
we
the...
just gifted her.
And
Like
that's
my
how
people.
we have been introduced to this fantastic
Yeah.
topic. Thank you so much for this
In the
presentation.
same manner, I gifted a book in Jaipur Lit Fest, and they also selected my. I was so surprised.
Yes, it is indeed
So
a good
it's
one.
in both the Lit Fests.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this presentation. And thank you, audience.
I would tell you that you do something on the Southern Indian festivals. Like I liked it very much when they make kolam. They make it with rice powder because they said that ants eat it away. You know,
Yeah.
nothing is wasted.
यहाँ पे भी
Ants
होता
eat-
है,
yeah.
यहाँ पे जो लगाते हैं कोलम और मुग्गू, वो पहले सिर्फ चावल के आटे से ही बनता था, अब जो है पत्थर के पाउडर से होता है. Thank you, Rekha ji. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
very
your
much
presentation.
for listening.
A round of applause, please.